everybody. TalkBox with Tony Choy, where studio happens. Tony Choy is a multi-Grammy nominated musician, a music producer, a highly decorated bass player, and he's one of the intrepid men that molded the genre of progressive metal. And oh, by the way, he then conquered pop music and is an all-around industry expert. So tune in and enjoy the conversations here in the TalkBox. We got interviews with musicians, metalheads, tour stories, studio happenings, all things music industry. Here's your host, Tony Choy. Tony, how's it going, man?
Hey, TGIF to everybody out there, Miami-based and also around the world. What's up? My name's Tony Choy, and welcome to TalkBox, as I like to tell everybody, and where studio happens, not just studio happens, like everything happens. So we're going to talk to you about about basically my day today, and we're going to give you a little intel on what it is to be in Tony Choy land, how I call people, how I tell people. Nevertheless, Brian, thank you again for, I cannot be so more grateful for the opportunity that you've kind of this awakening to a dream that I've been having for quite a bit, and you made it manifest, and I'm forever grateful for you to give me that opportunity.
Hey, man, happy to do it. The world needs the voice of Tony Choy, so it's a moral imperative for me to make sure that you have a successful podcast. So I'm really happy to be here. And before we get into it, I just want to do a little bit of quick housekeeping because we are so new. I want to let all the viewers and listeners know that our social media sites are slowly coming online. Our YouTube is up. You can find the podcast, the video podcast on YouTube at TalkBox, but just look up TalkBox with Tony Choy as your search term, and you will find the channel TalkBox. We need everybody to subscribe, like, share, comment, all that YouTuber stuff. And let us know if you've got any questions or if you've got someone you want to hear us interview, you need studio advice, music, whatever. We'll read all the comments in there. And we do need those subscriptions so that we can open up the advanced features of our brand new YouTube channel, such as live streaming, custom URL that's easy to find, and a membership area so that people can join the TalkBox team of viewers and supporters. So that's really important. We'd appreciate if everybody get on out there and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And for the audio platform listeners, we're launching at Spreaker.com. If you're not familiar with it, that's Spreaker.com. That's our audio platform. For those of you that are on the go, you can just search TalkBox, and please favorite the show over there. And we'll slowly be branching out from Spreaker to all the other platforms too. So we'll let you know when that happens. We have a new Instagram. It's at TalkBox Tony Choy. And on Twitter, we're at TalkBox7, the digit 7. So more to come, much more to come. And we're enjoying the process here. So please get out there and follow us on those sites. We'll put the relevant links in the description. So, okay, Tony, that's it for housekeeping, man. How's the new... They call it the new normal. I call it the new abnormal. How's it treating you out there in Florida?
Well, absolutely the new normal. But before I go into that, pretty much the whole eventful part of my day, because the day's not the whole day, but most of my day, the day's not over yet. We still got a lot of things to do. But nevertheless, Brian, you said a mouthful during the housekeeping part, and yeah, we do need your support. We do need you guys to tune into us and get on our same frequency. Talk to you about a little bit about everything. That's what TalkBox is about. And TalkBox is not just about us talking. It's about you guys talking to us and telling us what you in a nutshell, what do you like, and what is it that you want to know about personally about Tony Choy and his career. I know a lot of people sometimes, especially the metal fans, they think of me like I disappear a lot of the times at the metal genre, and it's very important that you understand this, that I'm a multi-genre type of musician, not just a musician, but I've entered for many years now. I've entered into this platform, as you may call it, of a multi-demographical platform where now it's not just about being a musician. It's about being a businessman, an entrepreneur, a content creator. It has to do a lot with vision. Paying it forward, a little bit of that, getting people involved. The other day, as a matter of fact, I was talking to a very young artist, talent, as I call it, because I believe that you're in a transition, you're in a transformation when you come raw. You're a talent. That's what I tell a lot of the up and coming talents, to become an artist. So you come as a talent and we make you an artist, and that's the kind of the misstep that a lot of talents, or even artists, talents before they were artists, that they're artists now, they kind of have a misconception with what their role is at the beginning. So nevertheless, I clarify that with you. Why? Because of the questions that the metal fans ask me is, why do you leave metal and come back and leave again and come back and leave again? I never leave. I'm always there. I'm always there. I'm a metal head at heart, aficionado. I'm always, I just did a Ferocious Scourge album, which is called In Death, I think. Jason, don't kill me right now, but I got so many things going on. I'm working on a Subnatic album as well from the UK. John Knight has been extremely patient. And why I say this right now is because if you guys need not just my services, my support, advice, as Bryan just mentioned right now, I'm always there. I'm always there. I answer all my messenger texts. If you guys want to hit me up on Facebook, I'm not so active on social media as far as Facebook and things like that, because it's so there's a lot of toxicity there. So and I'll talk to you guys a little bit about mind control and everything that has to do with that. But I just want to tell the metal fans out there, and I'm specifically going to the metal fans because those are my roots, and I've always said it and I'll say it again. Metal fans are the best fans in the world ever, and I've been, as Bryan introduced me, I've been in so many genres. I'm talking about everything. I also did a jazz album for Full House, is a jazz project led by Alex Moritz. They're all from Germany. And Sanja, he's the drummer that recommended me for the project. Go check it out on Spotify. It's called Full House. And you'll hear a lot of Tony Choy there, as one of my beginnings was his jazz. Actually, metal and jazz is kind of the simultaneously, it came up together in what's the music base as far as genres go. Then I just ventured off and got crazy with pop music and dance music and all this stuff. But nevertheless, hey Bryan, we were talking about my day today, huh?
Yeah, well, before you get into your day, I just want to back you up. Yes, the new Voracious Scourge album is called In Death, and it's going to be out August 21st via Massacre Records. And you metalheads are going to want to check this out. It's got Audrey Klosterward of Sinister. I hope I pronounced that right. Mike Smith, who is a badass. We talked about him in episode 1, I think. Tony Choy, obviously. And Jason McIntyre of Suture. And Billy Richard, right? Do I have all that right? Did I get that?
I believe you did. I mean, I'm sure Jason's not going to hold it against you for something. But I mean, listen, Mike Smith, man, what can I say about this guy? He is a stand-up gentleman, an amazing friend, just a ridiculous musician, overall. I mean, he's one of the innovators, iconic of the blast beat, you know. So all you blast beat players out there, you owe a lot to this man. He he kind of stamped the test of time for this type of blast. I would say style, no,
Yeah.
of playing. And I think that let's talk a little bit about that record. I'm sure a lot of people would like to know how it came about and the bass lines that they're about to hear. And it's classic Tony Choy. You know, at the end of the day, I play for the song. You know, I don't play out of the song. I like to play for the song, and I make it a thing to really be proactive and diligency in how I incorporate my style, of course, my essence, but also stick to the plan. I stick to the plan, you know? So my main question for Jason was, what do you want me to do? And he said to me, just be you. And I said, are you sure? And he was like, yes, please. So definitely, it's a super cool, fun record. I had a lot of fun. You guys are gonna love it. It's also out in vinyl, as a matter of fact. I know that they printed some vinyl. I'm actually some of them came in the mail today for me. So we might have some surprises for you guys. I don't know. I might sign a couple records here and give them away if you guys subscribe and get in tune with us and make this make TalkBox a part of your day and listen to us and vibe with us, man, and get in touch with us because at the end of the day, we want unity, man. We want unity. We have enough division as it is in this world, and this is why this has been created. It's not for Brian. It's not for me. It's for you guys. It's for the fans. So we could get in touch and we could have a good time and we could talk. It's called TalkBox for a reason. So
That's
so
right.
that's what do you think about signing some records for these guys and giving them out there, Brian? What do you think about that?
I think that's a fantastic idea. We should definitely do that, and we'll come up with a means to make that happen. You know, we'll do some sort of random pick in the YouTube comments and on the Instagram comments. However, we'll work that out, and we'll get back to you guys when we're ready to do it. But I think that's a great idea, Tony. And I got to say, I'm really excited about the new Voracious Scourge album.
You'll get one. You'll get one.
Cool.
You'll get one too with all the autographs.
Awesome, man. I'm a big Sinister fan. Sinister was one of the first death metal bands I ever saw live. That was probably like my third or fourth show. I think they were one of the acts on the bill, and I've been a fan since the early 90s.
They're from Holland, correct?
Yeah, I believe so.
Dutch, yeah. So also I have some other news as well. The new Synkronicity reissue Cultivation record will be coming out September 24th. So that's another added to the list, you know, and definitely I'll get signatures from all the musicians there for you guys. So amazing musicians on that record. If you haven't heard it yet, go to YouTube. We got some samples up there. Doesn't sound, you know, the way it's supposed to sound, but at least you get a basic idea of what Synkronicity sounds like. It's called Cultivation, and it's a little bit in everything about Tony Choy. Pretty much what I've gathered as a musician throughout my whole career. I put it in a blender, and that's what came out. You know, so Cultivation's called the record. And we're gonna sign some from all the players. We got Santiago Dobles on guitar. We got master drummer Matt Thompson from King Diamond on the record. This guy just shredded all over. It's just crazy drum playing. We got Arbis Gonzalez, which he's a super huge producer, Latin producer, but his beginnings were metal. So you can imagine, you know, Jordan Rudess type of crazy Eric Moore type of piano player, keyboard player. Just really good. And Graham Petty, which he's the voice of Synkronicity. And he was from a group called the Deliverance, I think, or something like that, from Texas. And you got to hear this guy sing. He's a mix between what's Faith No More,
Mike Patton.
Yep. And Phil Anselmo.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So he's Phil Anselmo, and then he has the Mike Patton like singing type of thing. Very amazing.
Yeah, his range is amazing. I love the songs that you sent me, and I'm really excited to get a proper copy.
Yes, you will get. Everybody, listen. A lot of. I know I did a first pressing, and it wasn't a pressing. It was kind of like this whole thing that TuneCore. Remember when I released the record in 2011, TuneCore was a baby. City Baby was actually a baby, and CD Baby was a baby, and TuneCore was basically just kind of testing out the waters. Obviously, now you got everybody and their mother being a distribution company. You know what I'm saying? DistroKid and the Instacart or whatever. All these different platforms. I know it's not called Instacart. It's called Intercat. But nevertheless, there's a lot of distribution. I got my own distribution company. It's a subdivision off of a Spanish. It's actually a premium service. So if anybody's interested, you guys can hit me up. If anybody wants major distribution, that's what I got. I got major distribution alongside of the big platforms. So we go a little bit, far further than the usual distribution company. Nevertheless, anything else you want to add, Bryan, to what?
I'm just really pleased to hear all this news. There's a lot of good stuff happening in the metal realms here, and I know a lot of people are going to be really excited to hear new Voracious Scourge, to hear Synkronicity. The other one you mentioned, remind me the name of that one again. That's out there on Spotify already.
Sypnatic.
Yes.
Yes. Up on Spotify.
Yeah.
No. Well. The Synkronicity is not. It was out, but now it's not. It's not out. That's September 24th.
Okay.
But Static is not out yet. They have. They have a lot of records out. They're from the UK, but I'm just in pre-production right now with their. I'm just doing the bass. That's all.
Gotcha. And of course, that Voracious Scourge is coming out on the 21st. So that's in 2 weeks. So by the time we get to 2 episodes from now, that will be. It might even be release day. That's going to be a Friday. So we should talk about that on the 21st.
Absolutely. And once I have it, I'm sure we could play a couple snippets of it. I'll definitely ask Jason how that, and you're the master at that, Bryan. So you should know all the rules of engagement when it comes to things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. They can be a little murky, but we'll figure them out so that people can check it out. Really excited about it, and yeah, man, definitely. So tell us about your day, Tony. I got a little bit of pre-info about this before we started recording. It's been an interesting day. What happened out there?
Interesting day. But I like to start it always shedding light into the darkness. So I have a little, not a little, but I have a sort of like a quote. And before I start everything, how you could see how everything unfolds. And you are the master of your destiny. You are the master of how things turn out at the end of whatever situation you're going through. So every thought has a frequency. Every thought has an energy. Okay? Let me repeat that. Every thought has a frequency. And every thought has an energy, okay? So, every thought you think is creating, and every thought is creating whether you Obviously, on the positive or the negative, it's creating an energetic field. Okay. Now, why do I say that? Because today I went to the DMV. Okay. And everybody knows that's a pretty, I would say, not so nice process, not so I would say uh acquiring, right? What would be the would what word would you put that in as nice as you could, as nice as you could put it? Not appealing.
Yeah, I consider it something I dread, but maybe that's a little dark.
There you go. There you go. We're going to shed some light into that one, you know. So, so dreading, yes, exactly. Standing in line, especially today with the new normal, and Brian called it
The
the
new abnormal.
abnormal, exactly. So we're going to go with the abnormal. So we're into this abnormal situation with everything that's happening in the world today, and you would think that people would actually be more caring, more supportive, and so DMV inside, um, everything and anything. Once you're in there, you're subjected almost to a military type of environment, meaning I don't even think that you're the soldier. I think that you're like the captive, the POW.
Yeah, really, man. It's kind of like going to the airport. It's like when I walk into the airport, I pretty much just say, "Okay, this day is out of my control. I am no longer a free person until I get out of the destination airport, and I hope it goes well."
Absolutely, absolutely. And and not to shed any darkness into public service, but there it is, public service. I think that it's called public service for a reason, and all these people that have these jobs and nothing, and right now, listen, I'm not complaining, I'm just venting right now because of the way that I was treated. And I think I think that we go through a lot of that nowadays. I think it is the I would say it's the equation of uh, what people are going through themselves in their lives. God knows, where these people, what type of day they were having, or but at the end of the day, it's a public service. You're getting paid for your job, so do your job and do it nicely. But nevertheless, I had the choice to either, have a very negative frequency and energy over this. But I said, you know what? I'm just gonna kind of roll with the punches right now. And but they wouldn't want to give me basically what I needed. They wanted to send me away and come back another day type of situation. And I was talking. It was something to do with my insurance and an added feature and all this stuff. So my insurance, Jose Ponce, he I don't know if we can say people's names, but but you know what? Yes, because he said, hey man, Blue Sky Insurance, by the way, I'll definitely, they're great friends of mine. I mean, these people, he actually told me, you stay there and you stay by the phone and I'm going to take care of this. Blue Sky Insurance, Jose Ponce, and this man did not let me get off the phone till he got the matter sorted out. He called Infinity Insurance. He called, I think he even called Tallahassee, and got this whole situation. And the whole time, in a way, I was almost about to. I told him, Jose, listen, it's okay, man. I'll come back. He's like, are you crazy? You're not going anywhere. And I was like, and I was even talking to the supervisor and the supervisor of the DMV. And I was like, man, you know how long it took me to make an appointment? 3 weeks. 3 weeks. In Miami, it's a toss up. It's a toss up. Port St. Lucie and all these other counties, you could walk in like there's green in the schedule, because you can only go in with schedule. People, listen. If you got problems with your license and you need to go to the DMV, you need to make an appointment. Do not show up, because they will turn you away. They will tell you, go away. They won't be nice to you. If they talk to you, you'll be lucky enough. And when they do talk to you and you don't come with the paper, and don't come with your phone either, with the appointment on the phone, make sure that you print out that piece of paper that says the date, the time, and all that stuff, and a confirmation number, by the way. They check the confirmation number. So nevertheless, I'm just trying to make you guys, get you prepared, and so you don't have that misstep and whatever it is. Because listen, you can get more of anything, but you can't get more time, So your time is valuable. I value your time and everybody who's listening out there. So I'm just giving you factual intel. I went through it today, but I got what I needed. I walked out victorious. So there's the light into the darkness. And, what can I say? Actually, I got an apology from the supervisor.
Oh, nice.
Of the DMV. She was like, Antonio, we're really sorry that this we had you here for so very long, but we're following company procedure, blah 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 blah. So they themselves are robots and systemites and whatever it is that they got to follow a protocol. You know what I'm saying? But which is understandable. Everybody, we're all with abnormal set of rules now. You know what I'm saying? So it's that's pretty much it. So every thought has a frequency. I stayed in a good frequency. I stayed in a great frequency, and every thought has an energy. My energy was kept very cool, very nice, and I walked out with what I needed to do, and renewed my tag. It took me 10 minutes to renew my tag, and because I also have friends that own a tag agency, so that was but she was telling me everybody's calling the tag agency saying how could they renew their license and this and that, because the DMV has no appointments. People are like till October, man. There's some places that are till October. Some places don't even have the test. If you want to take a driving test, they're not available, So, I mean, imagine all these people that are trying to get a job or trying to get a car so they could get to their job. And in Miami, you don't have a car, you're done. Put a fork in it, because you're the transit system here is, Yeah. I've been here for 40 years, so trust me, I know, So,
Hey, Tony, something else happened to you there, or you witnessed something happen to someone else. I don't know if that's something you want to talk about on the show or not, but I thought it was
absolutely.
I thought it was kind of important, maybe worth mentioning.
Listen, man, Brian, I'm glad you touched on this, and wow. Just a moment of silence real quick, because I'm trying to gather the thoughts and what I'm going to say, and for it to be constructive and structured. And, at the end of the day is something that has to stop, because that's the reason we're in this freaking mess, All right. We have to stop. We have to really pay attention, and we have to, render respect and love and just awareness. I mean, consideration, man. Come on. So there was an older gentleman. I think he must have been, I don't know. I mean, nowadays you can't tell, but he looked far above 65. So here's the gentleman. He's trying to communicate to renew his license, okay? Because I was sitting in the chair, the very first chair, so I couldn't help paying attention to what he was going through. So he addresses the DMV person, whatever, agent, and the agent is explaining to him that his license, so you can see I was paying attention, his license would be expired on September. So if he would pay to renew his license, that means that he would have to pay in September again to renew the license. Because he would just be paying till September. I don't know how that makes sense, because I think that they give you the license for like 10 years or something like that. So they renew your license for like 10 years, correct? I don't know. I mean,
yeah, something like that.
Your license, my license says like 2025 or something like that, So I don't know how that made sense. That to me was a little bit bizarre, but nevertheless, I'm still paying attention. And the gentleman, the older gentleman, seemed like he was mute and deaf, but he could still pronounce words. So the agent, the DMV agent, leans over to the glass, and he's explaining to the older gentleman, hey, look, if you da-da-da-da-da-da, and the older gentleman is saying, like couldn't hear him. But obviously, he can't freaking hear him because the guy's wearing a damn mask. So he's probably trying to read his lips. So here he's wearing his mask, but then I'm about to say a bad word because that's the only thing I could say. Can I say a bad word?
Let it rip.
The most fucked up thing just happened. This guy leans over to the older man and says, "Are you deaf?"
Oh my gosh.
I didn't look around the room, but I was in disgust. I wanted, that's when my frequency went off fucked up, man. Let me tell you. I didn't lose my composure for my stuff, but when that guy messed around with that older man, oh my God. If that, God forgive me, please. I'm not a violent person, but man, that guy deserved a nice whoop ass, man. A nice whoop ass. Because if you talk to my grandfather like that, or my father, or any family member, I mean, just to think, I felt like telling this dude, do you have a dad? Do you have a granddad? How dare you talk to this man like this, man? It was disgusting, man. It was disgusting. And to think that a public service person, somebody that we pay taxes to, man, that we pay their salaries, man, on top of us, they charge us up the yin yang to do whatever the hell it is that we have to do in there to keep up with the Joneses, or so we don't get thrown in jail or something like that, So sorry, guys, I'm sure that you guys will feel the same way if somebody told your granddad or your father, "Are you deaf?" and the guy is actually deaf and has problems, speech impediment or whatever it is, I think that was cold-hearted, insensitive, and fucked up, I'll say it again. That will be the last time I curse. So anyways, Bryan, talk to me, man.
Well, I'm thinking of something I want to say to kind of shed light into this one, because that is the kind of thing that would piss a lot of people off. I would be thinking the same thing as you. Like, I'd be thinking about my dad, my grandfathers, and it would make my blood boil a little bit. But I guess since we have an audience here, it's a good place to take the opportunity to just remind everybody there is no law in any state that says that you have to wear a mask. We have certain governors that are trying to create laws, but there isn't one right now. And furthermore, if you look at the CDC recommendations, which I say you should do with some caution because some of them can be really weird and conflicting with one another, but one of the important things to look at is the list of people who are exempt from the mask suggestion. And that would include people that have respiratory problems, people that are deaf. There's a whole list, if you have asthma, if there's a whole list of things that are very legitimate reasons for people to elect to not wear a mask in public right now. And I see a lot of people doing stuff like what you just described, insulting people, talking down to people, trying to inflict guilt on people. And, you just can't do that because you don't know that person's situation. If you're concerned about your own health and you see someone without a mask, then by all means, stay 6 feet away from them or whatever it is that makes you comfortable. But have some compassion for everybody because you don't know their situation. And I mean, I've seen a number of stories like this. I read a story on one of my other shows a couple of weeks ago about someone that maced a person for not wearing a mask in a store. I've seen another video recently where a young woman threw hot coffee in someone's face on a public street because they weren't wearing a mask. She didn't ask them if they had a medical problem, not that it would be her business, but you can see where this goes. So I think what's happening here, Tony, is that the media is doing its very best to divide people on all kinds of things. And that's why it's such an extreme situation when the media explains this to people. And it is literally mind controlling people into judgment and even violent acts. Like we've seen people maced, we've seen people attacked, we've seen people have hot coffee thrown in their faces. And this is totally unnecessary. So folks, have a little bit of compassion, please. And if the I call it the mass media cartel, a friend of mine coined that term and I've picked it up. I don't even call it the mainstream media anymore because I think it's anything but mainstream. I think it is a cartel that is owned by billionaires that literally wants to mind control the whole public and divide us against each other. So let's tone that down, everybody, and have a little bit of compassion for one another, because that might be a deaf person that you're talking to. That person may have no way to communicate with the rest of the world when they have their faces covered because he's a lip reader or she's a lip reader. And I have a listener to one of my other podcasts who works at a store, and he told me a story very similar where a woman came into the store and she was deaf and the checker didn't know it. And there's all these new rules at the grocery store, like you can't put your stuff on the trolley until a certain point, and then you have to bag it yourself, but you can't do it in a certain place. And he was trying to describe all this stuff to her with his mask on, and she couldn't hear him. She was deaf. She was trying to read lips, and she's confused about all these new corporate imposed rules in the grocery store that have never been there before. And, it's just really easy to project our own thoughts on people and make judgments and assumptions that can actually really hurt people's ability to get by in these really strange times. So I'll just throw in the plea for a little bit of compassion with regards to that story.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so very much. Listen, that's pretty much, Bryan. That's pretty much all I have for today. I gotta, as you know, I'm juggling a lot of things today. I'm gonna have you take us out of the program and invite people to come over and tune in next Friday with us here on TalkBox. Tony Choy. Bryan as well will be with us as always. Thank you so very much for being with us, and check out for more information about all these records. We're going to bring all these records on with us next week. I'm going to have some signed versions for you guys, and we'll see you next week.
All right. That's TalkBox with Tony Choy, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. This was the August the 7th, 2020 edition of TalkBox with Tony Choy. Join us again next week. And like I said, if you're just tuning in or if you missed it, you need to hear it one more time, hit us up on the social medias. Look up TalkBox with Tony Choy on YouTube. Please subscribe, share, comment, all that stuff. Let us know what you're thinking in the comments below. And also at Spreaker.com if you want to sign up for those automatic audio versions of the podcast. You can do that for all you mobile people out there. You want to listen in your car, whatnot. Sometimes YouTube's not always the most convenient. So we do have an audio version of the podcast here. And please subscribe to the YouTube channel and that Spreaker. You can follow us on Instagram at TalkBox Tony Choy and on Twitter at TalkBox7. So that's it. We got much more to come. Hope you guys are enjoying the show out there, and we'll see you for the next edition of TalkBox.
See you guys.
We're out of here.
Out of here.